thing. They get stuck on definitions, don't they? Let's take, for example, the fact that it's against the law to torture your own citizens. But change the words. If you change the words to pain compliance, that's literally what they call it. It's still torture. It's also against the law. A police officer may not force you physically to engage in an illegal order. They also may not torture you, but they do. You all say, oh, it's not supposed to be pleasant. You know what? When you've been found guilty, having your rights taken away like that makes sense. When you're denied the rights to defend yourself, and your guilt is assumed because of the term homeless or transient, man, life sucks. Now let's take a look at them girls with the cuts on themselves. That's a two-part system. That very same two-part system, when applied to men, doesn't result in cutting on themselves. It results in suicide. Women are girls start cutting themselves at 5 times the rate of boys at the age of 15. Boys start committing suicide at 5 times the rate of girls starting at age 15. Because you teach us differently. For a girl, there's a lot more hope, a lot more possibility of getting help. Now them cuts, that two-part system, the first part, most of the time it's the dad couldn't keep his hands to himself. But that's not the part that results in the cutting. What results in the cutting is that when you try to tell on your predator, you go to that trusted adult and they blow you off. Statistically, most of the time, that is the mother. It's not the dad raping her that results in the cutting, it's the mother blowing her off. It's the neglect that takes away their hope. It results in them having to do desperate things to try to get hurt. When a girl cuts on herself, it's because something is wrong. Yes, there are those few occasions where a girl will slice herself to ribbons because the boy she wants won't have her. But not usually. Now let's look at these definitions again. I'm disabled. But rather than using the term mentally disabled, they use the term mentally ill. What's the difference? If they use the term mentally disabled, you go, hey, why were they screwing around with somebody who's mentally disabled? When you call them mentally ill, you go, oh, that person must be the bad guy. Those definitions are used interchangeably, aren't they? No, they're not. One of them is used when they want to paint you as the villain. The other one is used when they want to paint you as the victim. Statistics versus arrest records. Statistics show that women are 11 times more likely to be stalkers, but men are between 6 and 26 times more likely to be arrested and convicted. A woman can get a protection order against a man based on her feelings. A man, myself, case in point, can have all the evidence in the world, but won't even be allowed to get in the door. When literally the officers by name that you're trying to turn in are allowed to commit felony after felony against you to prevent you from turning in evidence against them. And they're allowed to do this using pain compliance and by calling you mentally ill. Yeah, we got a lot bigger problems. I don't respect anyone at all. For 6 years, I've been documenting the abuse, going to the mandated reporters, going to all the people that I'm sent to talk to. But doing so without help as a homeless male is about like saying, hey, I'm gonna go shove a 6-inch wide pike up my backside. You're just screwing yourself. When it comes to homeless and disabled males in specific, as a male, I have to understand that 96% of those killed by police every year are men. As a disabled person, I have to understand that 51% of those killed by police every year are disabled. As a homeless person, I have to understand that of such a small population, being homeless, I am one of those numbers that accounts for 49% of those killed by police. Outside of a very small population size, in 2019, the homeless population was about 500,000. The black population in the United States was about 60 million. Well, I hear about how black people are the most marginalized in society. As a black man, you have a 1 in about 490 million, or sorry, 1 in about 490,000 chance of getting killed by a police officer this year. As a homeless person, you have less than a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting killed by a police officer this year. You have no rights. My rights were never observed. Ever. Now here's the thing about suicide. I'm fighting hard to get legislature so that people like me and anybody else called mentally ill, anybody else who is abused by your society or neglected by it, we should be allowed to go sit in a helium booth, press the shiny red button, and have it all go away. There's nothing more disgusting in this country than how the police treat the poor. When Teresa Macelia was raped, she stated that the way the police treated her when she tried to turn in her rapist was worse than being raped. As a victim of rape myself, I agree. When it comes to brown people, where I'm from in Nebraska, people hate anybody who's different colored. When people go missing, I don't care what color they are. I don't care what gender they are. How many of y'all you scroll through and it's a missing or murdered indigenous boy? Yeah, that's why they changed the name to Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. It used to be Missing and Murdered Indigenous People. But Americans don't care about males. It's the you gotta do it yourself thing. Guess what happens when you gotta do it yourself every time? You end up screwed every time. And then people tell you that you chose it. It's disgusting. I got stuff I need to get done today. I gotta do a bunch of running around. I gotta waste a bunch of money I don't have. As always. Just a whole bunch of wasting money just to waste more money. It's pathetic. It's disgusting. The United States of America is disgusting. I know, I live here. The people in the United States of America, I don't have much nice to say about them. There's a big difference between nice and good. Giving somebody a sandwich is a nice thing to do. When somebody has their food stamp stolen, it's going to be 10 times harder to get their food stamp card back by themselves. In that situation, you can give them a sandwich, or you can help them get their card back. One of those will feed him for a day. The other one, he can feed himself. Now, when he's trying to jump through all the hoops to get his food stamp card back, and you don't understand that it's not just going to be a one-day trip for him the way that it was for you, and then you just wait for your stuff to show up in the mail.